The fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019, former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
First carry for Darius Geis. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And a quick look at Washington's offense.
Let's focus our attention on the offensive line and Brandon Sheriff, the first-round pick in 2015. In fact, the first lineman taken at number 5 overall, an offensive tackle in college, transitioned very well to guard in the NFL. Solid, reliable, two traits you love in an offensive lineman. How about tough, physical, and nasty? He's an Iowa offensive lineman. Those guys play well in the NFL.
And he finds the tight end, Reed. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is taken at the 15. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Let's go. 91. Here we go, D. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Carmichael. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. like it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
64.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the rookie Saquon Barkley, the one who finishes things off with a touchdown run. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Haskins looking to throw on first down. He'll get this into the hands of Hodge. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They go play action with Haskins. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but now it'll be 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carmichael. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 29-yard line. And just on Wednesday, he was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for that over 100-yard performance he had last week.
Deservedly so, and I enjoyed our time with him and asked him how he got it done. What did he see? And he said film study, watching what the defenses were going to present, understanding how to defeat those. And then he was a step ahead because he said, and then they're going to change up and counter another way. And he beat them that way, too.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin. Third down here. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And, oh, my goodness, what a catch at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
On the set. 33. Man, that's trash. That's trash. Fire.
Operating from the gun, Carmichael. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there. Good for a Redskin first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10.
On the draw, this is Love. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. On 3rd down, here's Love. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 11. So possession goes over here on the punt.
Let's go.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On second down now, Barkley. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis, 82 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That's an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops. And he's going to go down again. Montez Sweat. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
Let's go.
As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 26 and a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. On 2nd and 12, Haskins. That's going to be caught by Richardson. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Bartney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Haskins on 3rd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On the ground, Geis. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Geis alone in the backfield here, 2nd and goal. Here's Haskins, and he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. From 3 yards out, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Extra point up and through by Myers. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh. Pretty quiet, team. Pretty quiet. So go.
On 1st down, Carmichael. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Ready?
Throwing again. Carmichael looking downfield for Godwin. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A final shot before break. Carmichael, he wants it all for the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard as we sit. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well.
Hey, echo.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 4 down, 4 down. Mike, shoot.
Throwing on first down. Carmichael looking downfield. And got his man complete. The first play of the second half. A big success, over 30 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big game.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. Touchdown, Vikings! Stephon Diggs. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind. Because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So that flag will cost them 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They go play action now. Haskins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw again on second down. Haskins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Shotgun handoff now for Love. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And now out comes Minnesota. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you got it, because the way they're stringing things together.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Ioannidis able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Carmichael going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Back to throw. Carmichael. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Chris Godwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think this is where we see how the game has moved along a little bit. Free safety, no blitz, but reads the play, has no responsibility in coverage, and takes a gamble and goes and gets the quarterback.
Well, is that a spot, though, where when he's coming, the quarterback needs to be able to find somebody or not necessarily?
Has to, because with that amount of time coming from the free safety position, someone should break open.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. The ball comes out, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Let's go.
And defensively, maybe an opportunity miss there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. And big sigh of relief, huh?
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles, there's open space around for the defense, but not there. He hops right back on it. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Love. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run again with Love on 1st down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run with Geis. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 3rd down, it's Love. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that run. Oh, that's impressive.
And we saw a lot of that a week ago when he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. From the gun, Carmichael. He's going to rifle one deep left, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. Doesn't quite make it, taking it with an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And this is Cook with the grab. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. So that drive, 4 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, fellas.
So out now come the Redskins. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins. They'll find Taylor. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Haskins. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself. But you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, Legend? And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Redskins scoop it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now a 1st down throw complete downfield. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Carmichael. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the side.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Looking to throw. Carmichael. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year.
Is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They'll come out in the pistol. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think? Maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Now it's Haskins. That'll be caught by Cup. And oh, he coughed it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Carmichael. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, it's Love. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Here's Love. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now, Haskins on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pick.
And the pressure gets to him again. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Fielded at about the 28.
Come on, fellas.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble into the Redskins. How did they do? So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Looking to throw, Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Haskins to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw forward with Haskins. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage from the 21. It's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carmichael. That is caught at the 7. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to, because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. but
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone. So for Minnesota, they remain as hot as anyone.